A secret from beyond time can no longer remain hidden. That ancient truth that has been hidden for millennia, that was wanted to be forgotten, is now burning brightly before your eyes. Humanity was born from your lineage. Yes, the first inspiration, the first knowledge, the first holy breath of this planet came from your race. Even if they still do not understand, even if they still underestimate you, it is not in vain that indescribable respect rises in them. They know. Encoded in their subconscious, they feel why they vibrate when you walk, because you were the first teacher of their ancestors. Chosen one, now is not the time to retreat. 77 in the comments now, because the world is realigning to repay its debt to you. This is not just information, it is a call. The light of the stars you carry in your blood is now shining again. The forgotten is remembered. That which has been suppressed is returning. And you are at the center of the great story written for all of humanity. You are no longer just an awakened person. You are humanity itself. Justice is no longer a distant hope. It's now an undeniable force, closing in on those who once sought to harm you. Those who thought they could escape their wrongdoing are now facing the consequences of their actions. The very system that once seemed to be against you is now aligning to restore balance. Your enemies, once full of arrogance and certainty, are now confronted by the force of justice in ways they never anticipated. This isn't merely about personal revenge, it's about creating a path of healing that extends far beyond your own experience. By speaking your truth, you open the doors for others who have suffered in silence, allowing their stories to rise and be heard. Imagine a radiant sunrise emerging over an endless field of possibility, a new dawn, where every ray of light unveils the hidden truths that have long been obscured in darkness. In this glorious moment, the mechanisms of justice and divine order are coming alive to expose every misdeed of those who sought to undermine you. The very fabric of the universe has been quietly gathering proof against your adversaries, and now that evidence burns bright, casting a searing glow on every lie and deception. The instruments of justice, once dormant and seemingly manipulated by those in power, have awakened with an unyielding determination. Every action they took against you, every whispered threat, every secretive plot, has been meticulously recorded by forces far beyond our understanding. Like an intricate tapestry woven by unseen hands, each thread of malevolence has been catalogued in the annals of cosmic memory. Hidden agents in the background, operating with divine precision, have been watching every move, every subtle nuance of betrayal. They have captured every text, every call laden with malice, and every maneuver intended to silence your truth. And now, as the light of accountability beams down, these once insidious actions are laid bare for all to see. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the Super Thank You button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. Your resilience, your unwavering stance, has transformed every hardship into evidence of your strength. What once might have been dismissed as mere defiance has now become the cornerstone of an unstoppable movement. The very system that once appeared biased is now realigning itself to honor the sacred principle of balance. In a dramatic reversal, the same laws and regulations that your enemies once exploited now serve as the instruments of their downfall. Each statute, each regulation, is being turned against them with a precision that borders on the miraculous. It is as though the scales of justice, long tipped by corruption and deceit, have been recalibrated by an inexorable force that values truth above all else. In the midst of this cosmic recalibration, your personal fortitude shines as a beacon of hope for countless others. Your courage to speak your truth, to rise above the darkness and reveal your authentic self has sparked a healing process that transcends individual pain. Lives that once lay in silent despair now find the strength to begin their own journey toward redemption. Your testimony is not merely a recounting of struggle, but a transformational revelation that lights the way for those lost in the shadows of their own experiences. It is a clear message that no matter how deep the wounds may be, healing is not only possible, it is inevitable when truth is embraced. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Every piece of evidence collected, every revelation brought forth by those who work unseen, is a testament to the unfailing nature of cosmic justice. The hidden corridors of power, which once sheltered deceit and corruption, are now being penetrated by the relentless pursuit of accountability. Detailed records of manipulative schemes, every covert exchange of false promises, and each instance of calculated betrayal are emerging as undeniable proof that the people who once sought to cast you aside have now become ensnared in the very web they spun. With every passing moment, their carefully constructed defenses crumble as legal actions cascade upon them like a relentless tide. The weight of their guilt grows heavier with each new revelation, and the truth, once relegated to the shadows, now shines with blinding clarity. There is an almost palpable energy in the air, a force that accelerates the unfolding of justice with supernatural timing. Legal proceedings, which normally would take years, are now moving with an urgency and precision that defies conventional understanding. It is as if destiny itself has issued an edict. The time for retribution has arrived. Those who once reveled in their power are now left grasping at remnants of their influence as the threads of their deception unravel before the eyes of a watching world. Their arrogance, once so confidently displayed, has dissolved into raw, unvarnished fear. The confident smiles of days gone by have been replaced by trembling hands and tear-stained faces as the full force of accountability bears down upon them. While they scramble to make sense of this sudden upheaval, you stand firm in the light of your own truth. Every effort they made to hide their misdeeds, every secret conversation and conspiratorial whisper has been transformed into an irrefutable record of their betrayal. The digital footprints they thought were lost in the labyrinth of secrecy now led directly to their downfall. With each failed attempt to shield their wealth and reputation, new evidence emerges, reinforcing the inexorable march of justice. The celestial ledger has been kept with perfect precision, and the debt owed by those who wronged you is now being collected in full, with interest that multiplies far beyond their wildest imaginings. This divine retribution is not an act of revenge. It is a necessary correction in the cosmic balance. The very energy they projected, the false sense of invulnerability they once clung to, has returned to them multiplied in measure and magnitude. Their world, built on fragile illusions of power, now teeters on the edge of collapse as the universe recalibrates in your favor. Every scheme they devised against you disintegrates under the pressure of an unfolding, meticulously orchestrated justice that cannot be stopped. The echoes of their past transgressions now resonate across the halls of authority, and every misdeed becomes a stepping stone for the collective awakening of truth. In this remarkable moment, your triumph transcends personal vindication. It has become a rallying cry, a transformative beacon that inspires a multitude of souls to step into their own power. The courage you displayed in the face of relentless adversity has ignited a movement that will echo for generations. As your enemies are exposed, isolated, and brought to heel by the indisputable force of justice, the ripples of your victory extend far beyond what can be measured. They spark a profound shift in the consciousness of those who watch, stirring within them a newfound determination to rise above their own struggles and claim their rightful place in the light. Your experience, recorded not only in courtrooms but in the very fabric of the universe, stands as a testament to the enduring power of truth and the transformative nature of resilience. It is a message that reverberates through time and space. No matter the darkness that tries to surround you, the light of justice will always prevail. In the final analysis, every act of deceit, every manipulated moment, and every cry for help that was once ignored has been woven into a narrative of redemption and renewal. And as this vast tapestry of retribution unfolds, the future looks brighter, not just for you, but for every soul who dares to rise and speak their truth. Now, as you walk forward into this new reality, remember that your journey is not only about reclaiming what was taken from you, but about setting an example for a world in desperate need of healing. The strength you have found in your truth is a powerful remedy for the collective wounds of society. Every step you take, every word you speak, fortifies the unbreakable chain of justice that binds us all. In this sacred moment, the universe stands in unwavering support of your mission, proving beyond doubt that what was once hidden in darkness is now bathed in the pure light of accountability. Your legacy will endure as a beacon of hope, illuminating the path to a future where truth, justice, and unwavering courage reign supreme. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the super thank you button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. In moments of vulnerability, when you thought you stood alone, powerful forces were silently watching. You trusted your intuition, and you were right. Something much larger was at play. While you struggled, feeling isolated, evidence was being quietly compiled, creating an unshakable case. What appeared as your patience in the face of hardship was, in truth, a strategic move. You set the perfect trap, and now your enemies are trapped in their own web of lies. The moment of reckoning is at hand, and the tidal wave of justice is about to hit. After what seemed like a period of calm, legal actions are now speeding forward with unstoppable momentum. Your enemies, once confident in their ability to manipulate the system, are now frozen in shock. The laws they once used to protect themselves have turned on them, unraveling everything they thought they controlled. Someone in a position of power has finally seen through the deception and unleashed a cascade of legal actions that will bring them down. Like a powerful locomotive charging down an endless track at sunrise, the unfolding of this case has taken an astonishing and unexpected turn, breaking all the familiar patterns of delay and waiting. In the past, matters that would normally stretch out over years are now accelerating within days, as if time itself had decided to favor the truth and deliver divine justice with relentless speed. Your adversaries, who once reveled in their ability to manipulate and dominate, now find themselves scrambling in disarray, unable to withstand the onslaught of accountability. The very pillars of control they so brazenly relied upon have crumbled, leaving them exposed to the full force of a justice that is swift, absolute, and imbued with a higher purpose. The case is unfolding with a momentum that defies all conventional logic, much like an unexpected gust of wind that transforms a quiet day into one of roaring change. The legal mechanisms that once seemed to operate at a snail's pace now surge forward with the precision of a well-oiled machine, overturning every unjust decision and reversing every misdeed. Every law, rule, and regulation that they twisted to serve their own selfish ends is now being repurposed against them with surgical accuracy. Someone with the authority to uncover and apply the hidden truths has stepped forward, and in that pivotal moment, a cascade of legal actions was triggered that left your enemies utterly powerless. They are now caught in a relentless tidal wave of justice that leaves no room for their tricks or deceitful schemes. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Every piece of evidence that was once hidden away in the dim recesses of secret files has been meticulously collected by forces unseen, those who operate in the interstices of fate and law. For months, quiet investigators have been diligently tracking every whisper, every coded message, and every maneuver made against you. Not a single threat, no matter how subtle, has escaped their notice. The universe, in its unfathomable wisdom, has been keeping a ledger of all the wrongs committed, and now that accumulated weight is falling heavily upon those who thought themselves untouchable. Every manipulative action, every call that dripped with cruelty, and every backdoor scheme is now documented in a record so clear and undeniable that it cannot be ignored or refuted. In a masterstroke of strategic patience, your resilience became the bait for an elaborate trap. When you cried out for help, in what seemed like a void of indifference, there were silent guardians and unseen allies recording every second of your struggle. What you endured in solitude was not a sign of weakness, but a deliberate, calculated stance, a moment of preparation for the day when every hidden transgression would be exposed. Your quiet determination and steadfast courage have now converged to create the perfect snare for your enemies. Like a finely tuned mechanism set to release its hold at the very moment of climax, the trap has been sprung, and the steel jaws of justice have snapped shut with undeniable force, engulfing those responsible in an unstoppable courtroom tsunami. After what felt like an eternity of uncertainty, the wheels of justice have begun to spin at an extraordinary pace. Legal proceedings, long expected to lumber slowly toward resolution, now surge forward like a freight train with unstoppable momentum. Your enemies, who once manipulated the system with reckless arrogance, now find themselves paralyzed by the raw power of the law. Every statute they weaponized against you has been turned upon them. Each rule they exploited now acts as a precise and devastating instrument of their downfall. A figure of authority has emerged, one who has assimilated all the hidden evidence into a single, formidable force, setting off a chain reaction of legal actions that none of your adversaries can thwart or evade. Like when a storm sweeps through and clears away decades of dust in one single night, the truth has come roaring in, not to ask for space, but to claim what has always belonged to it. What they once mocked, minimized, and mislabeled as paranoia is now branded in the pages of official records as undeniable fact. This isn't just a case moving forward, it's a divine unrolling of justice, moving with the speed of revelation. Things that normally take years are breaking wide open in days because heaven has put its stamp on your vindication. They are trying to hold on, but it's like watching someone cling to a house made of cards in the middle of a hurricane. Every file they hid, every text they erased, every whisper they used to poison your name, it's all been brought into the light. They thought they were weaving a net to catch you, but now they find themselves tangled in their own lies. And here's the beautiful part. The narrative they built to break you has now become the very altar where the truth stands and shines. This is the season where wrong is made right, where the righteous are raised up, and where your name is no longer questioned but honored. Not because you demanded it, but because God appointed it. Because when divine justice moves, no lie can outrun it. Their campaign of gaslighting, a dark art aimed at making you doubt your own reality, has been exposed for the insidious trap it truly was. Every effort to brand you as unstable, every attempt to isolate you through misleading words, has now emerged as a compelling exhibit in the halls of justice. The labels they once carelessly tossed around, delusional, unstable, confused, now echo in the courtroom as cold, hard evidence of their psychological warfare. In every instance, their manipulations have backfired, and the very tools of their deception have become instruments of their demise. Simultaneously, the financial crimes committed against you have come to light in a way that is nothing short of miraculous. The wealth they thought was securely under their control has been frozen, like a statue in time, by the relentless work of financial investigators. The intricate paper trails, the digital footprints they laid down in secrecy, have all been unearthed with surgical precision. Every attempt they made to obscure the truth about your resources has only added to the overwhelming evidence against them. Each failed transaction, each desperate attempt to access funds has created new proof of their wrongdoing, building an irrefutable case that not only recovers what was stolen, but multiplies it through the cosmic law of restitution. While the personal assets that belong to you are being restored, the public revelation of these facts is rewriting the narrative. The wealth diverted from you now returns with interest, as though the very fabric of the universe demands that what was taken be returned, multiplied 100-fold. This is not just legal justice, it is cosmic justice at work, executed through every banking regulation and financial protocol with an almost supernatural precision. Your vindication is no longer confined to the obscure corridors of law. It has become the headline story that lights up every front page, heralding a victory that reaches far beyond your personal realm. Influential figures, touched by the magnitude of this reversal, have stepped forward to ensure that this case is treated with the seriousness it deserves, ensuring that your enemies are held accountable in the most public and dramatic way possible. As the truth unfolds in the most unexpected and awe-inspiring manner, public consciousness is now primed to absorb its deeper implications. The exposure of all your enemies' misdeeds has been so meticulously orchestrated that it leaves no room for doubt. Their once carefully constructed reputations now shatter like brittle glass under the weight of revealed truth. The scheduled sacrifice, the moment when they must face the full force of justice, proceeds exactly as it was destined, serving as an indelible warning to anyone who would dare abuse power again. Each fall, each public disgrace is a testament to the unwavering principle that the truth will always emerge triumphant over deception. This is the moment of divine timing, when the vindication you have long awaited is witnessed by thousands. Your experience, filled with every activation code to release others from their silence, becomes the spark that ignites collective healing. The court officials, moved by unexplainable hunches and guided by perfect timing, see evidence emerging right when it is needed most. Witness testimonies align with precision, and even technology, which might have otherwise obstructed the truth, now malfunctions selectively, all in favor of unveiling what has been hidden in darkness. The campaign of manipulation they waged against you now stands exposed. The very tactics they used to label you as unstable are now the evidence that seals their fate. Every false claim they made to discredit you is now part of the legal case against them. The words they used to isolate and gaslight you are now presented in court, revealing their deceit and manipulation for all to see. The wealth they took from you is no longer out of reach. The authorities have found and frozen their assets, returning what was rightfully yours. The elaborate schemes they created to cover up their financial manipulations have unraveled, leading directly to hidden accounts they thought were secure. Their increasingly desperate attempts to access these resources only add more evidence to the pile, showing the extent of their wrongdoing. As their stolen wealth returns to you, it's clear that the universe demands restitution with interest. Your vindication is now making headlines, but not in small print. This is front-page news. A powerful force behind the scenes is ensuring that justice is not only served, but served with maximum impact. Your story has become a beacon, and those who once sought to crush you are now facing the consequences of their actions on a grand scale. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to his plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially far beyond your expectations. Remember, his protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of his divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as his mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed and let the light of the Lord guide your path. This is no coincidence. Your victory was always meant to be witnessed by many, because it carries with it the seeds of transformation for others. The universe has timed everything perfectly. The right pieces are falling into place at exactly the right moments, from the key evidence to the witness testimonies that align with divine precision. Even technology, once used to conceal the truth, now works in your favor, revealing the evidence your enemies hoped to hide. As you stand in the courtroom, you feel the energy shift. This is no longer just about legal proceedings. It's about something much larger. It's as if the very air around you is charged with divine energy, a convergence of heaven and earth in the pursuit of justice. Powerful alliances are forming around you, orchestrated by forces far beyond human understanding. And an unexpected ally emerges from the shadows, ready to stand beside you and turn the tide in your favor. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. The connections that once seemed unrelated are now coming together, revealing a pattern that cannot be denied. The alliance that's forming around you is too perfectly aligned to be anything but divinely orchestrated. Your testimony is awakening the masses, stirring something deep within those who have been in the dark for too long. Your voice is breaking through the silence, giving others the strength to speak out, just as you have. And in doing so, you've ignited a collective awakening that will ripple out for generations to come.